Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles, and you probably saw this article, I don't know, maybe you have, but there is a letter that the Department of Justice sent to Mueller in response to a letter he sent on July 10th. Now, I've tried to find that letter that Mueller sent, but I can't find it. So if I find it, I'll let you guys know, but as of now, I haven't been able to dig it up. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but who knows? Anyway, so he wrote a letter to them talking about his upcoming testimony because this video should come out on Tuesday morning and he will be supposedly testifying before the House Judiciary and the House Intel committees. I think they're going to be together on it and have him there. So, will he show up? Who knows? I mean, at this point, I don't know. I really don't think he's going to show. But then again, maybe he will. I don't think he wants to have to face the Republicans and answer their questions. But then again, let me read this letter to you because, they covered it and they picked out parts of it. But I want you to see the whole thing here because I want to point something out to you. So, here it is. And again, as always, I put the links down below so you can show them to other people and send them out on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and you can share them with other people. So this is the whole letter, and it is dated July 22nd, which is when I'm recording this, but and it was sent by email, okay? So it says, Dear Mr. Mueller, I write in response to your July 10th, 2019 letter. See, that's where we know he had a letter that he sent that prompted this one. Concerning your testimonial subpoenas you received from the House Judiciary Committee and House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Your letter suggests that the department provide you with guidance concerning privilege or other legal bars applicable to potential testimony in connection with those subpoenas. So you can see right there, that tells you what his letter was about. So obviously he was saying, hey, what do I do? And are there things that I have to consider? We know from what Mueller said before when he did that short little 9-minute presser thing that he did. We know for sure from that he said he doesn't want to say any more and that he did not want to testify and that he assumed that his work would pretty much answer all the questions and there wasn't anything he could add to it. Well, I disagree with that, but anyway, that's for later. Just let's keep going on this. On May 29, 2019, with the department's authorization, you made a public statement about your work as special counsel. That's when he made that 9-minute presser. In that statement, you addressed a possible appearance before Congress saying that you, quote, hope and expect this to be the only time I will speak to you in this matter. So that was his statement. You also stated that if you testify before Congress, quote, any testimony from this office would not go beyond our report. It contains findings and analysis and the reasons for the decisions we made. We chose those words carefully. Oh, yeah, they did. And the work speaks for itself. The report is my testimony. I would not provide information beyond that which is already public in any appearance before Congress. And that is his statement there. I understand that subsequently you advised the committees that you do not wish to testify concerning your work as special counsel, given that you would not add anything beyond what you already said in the now public report and your public statement. See, I think there's more to it than that, because when the Republicans ask him questions, it's going to be questions not about the report itself or the findings. It's going to be questions about how he put together his team and why he chose the people that he did, and other things like why did they wipe clean the cell phones for Strzok and Page, and lots of things like that. Those are the items that the Republicans are going to be asking because they are already working very hard, the Republicans are, to figure out the best questions to ask. And, they're working together so that they can have this a coordinated effort, I'm sure. I've heard some of them say it, so I know that's what they're doing. As the Attorney General has repeatedly stated, the decision to testify before Congress is yours to make in this case. But the Department agrees with your stated position that your testimony should be unnecessary under the circumstances. The department generally does not permit prosecutors such as you to appear and testify before Congress regarding their investigative and prosecutorial activity. I mean, see, that's really how it works. You don't call somebody in front of Congress to respond, your prosecutors. That's just not what they do. In addition, the department already has taken extraordinary steps to make almost your entire report, as well as a substantial volume of your underlying investigative material, available to the committees. Should you testify, the department understands that testimony regarding the work of the special counsel's office will be governed by the terms you outlined on May 29th, specifically that the information you discuss during your testimony appears in and does not go beyond the public version of your March 22nd, 2019 report to the Attorney General or your May 29th public statement. So that's what they're stating here. Now, in my opinion, okay, this is kind of, what do I want to say, could end up being bad for the Republicans. And the reason I say that is because if he can only testify about the report, then the Democrats get a chance to go through and pick out what they consider the most damaging parts of the report, the parts that will hit Trump the hardest, and they can have him repeat those in front of everyone. And that's what I think probably their strategy is going to be, that the Democrats are going to choose just the specific parts of the whole report that will make it look like Trump is guilty. That's their intention. I'm sure of it. But this is very interesting from the DOJ, because if Mueller only sticks to those things, then he wouldn't be able to answer the questions the Republicans will be posing, because the questions the Republicans pose are not answered in the actual report. It's things like, why did you leave out part of that phone call between Mike Flynn's lawyer and the other lawyer, and why did you leave parts of that out so that it made it sound like it was something different than what it was? Why did you leave out a lot of stuff? Because there are many things in there. I was reading through parts of it the other day, and it's like, wow, they really left out a lot of details about this. And there are so many things in there that they just left out. And why? Because it would have made it's so clear that the whole Russia thing was a hoax. And so they left out the parts that make it obvious. Anything that could have exonerated Trump even more. So, that's how they work, though. So I hope this is not setting it up so if Mueller does show, which personally right now I don't think he's going to show, but if he does show, I think he's going to plead the fifth or something. Or he's going to say, I already said everything I'm going to say. He'll just kind of recap what he said back there on the 29th when he said, that's all I'm going to talk about. I've already given you my work. I don't need to say any more. So, yeah, that's what I think. But if he does happen to show up, I wonder if this letter is going to limit him and will give him a reason to say to the Republicans, I'm not going to answer that. So I don't know, maybe, maybe not. So anyway, it goes on and it says, please note that there should be no testimony concerning the redacted portions of the public version of your report, which may not be disclosed because of applicable laws, court rules and orders, including Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 6E, or longstanding department policies. As you know, the U.S. v. Stone and U.S. v. Concord cases remain pending. So this gives us some insight into the things that are redacted. What's redacted? Information about these two cases. Okay? Remain pending, and local court rules and specific orders issued in those cases substantially restrict the department's ability to make public statements about those cases. In addition, it is the department's longstanding policy not to discuss the conduct of uncharged third parties. See the Justice Manual, Section 9-27.760. Established department policy also precludes any comment on the facts developed and legal conclusions by the special counsel's office with respect to uncharged individuals, other than information contained within the portions of your report that have already been made public. So he's limited. He cannot talk about anything in the redactions. So really, in essence, except for the legitimate questions that the Republicans will ask him, like, why did you choose Weissman? And, such things like that. And why did you leave these things out? They're making a list of the things that were left out that should have been included. But, those are legitimate questions. But other than those legitimate questions, really seriously, what purpose will it serve to have him in there? Because he can't say any more. This letter pretty much restricts him to only being able to talk about exactly what's in the report. So if the Democrats ask him a question and it's about something in the report, all he can do is parrot back what the report says. He can't add any more to it. So it serves no purpose for them to ask him questions. I don't know what exactly they're thinking of doing. But if he does show up, it's going to backfire on the Democrats big time. Because if Mueller doesn't tell the truth, if he says things that are not truthful, the declassified documents are going to show him up for who he is. And I think the declassified documents are going to come out anyway. I think they're waiting until he testifies before they put him out, just so that they get this chance. Now, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think he's going to show. But if he happens to, then we'll see. Finally, any testimony must remain within the boundaries of your public report because matters within the scope of your investigation were covered by executive privilege, including information protected by law enforcement, deliberative process, attorney work product, and presidential communications privileges. See, he had a little bit more ability to talk to some of these people. All of Trump's people went and talked to Robert Mueller and his team. Why? Because they could do that. But what they testified was covered by presidential communications privileges, which means that they're not allowed to share that out with the regular public. And that's what the entire thing is really about. You see, the Democrats want this communication, what Trump told them. That's what they want because they are desperate and they want to find something that Trump did that they can point at that and say, see, that's a reason to impeach him. Okay? I don't know. I was going to show you these, but I didn't bring them up. But Maxine Waters had several posts about impeachment, just, tweets on Twitter. And I was like, oh, Maxine, she just gets crazy about it. I don't think she knows too many other words other than impeach. She has a very small vocabulary, especially these days. So anyway, then it says, these privileges would include discussion about investigative steps or decisions made during your investigation not otherwise described in the public version of your report. Consistent with standard practice, department witnesses should decline to address potentially privileged matters, thus affording the department the full opportunity at a later date to consider particular questions and possible accommodations that may fulfill the committee's legitimate need for information while protecting executive branch confidentiality interests. And then he goes on and says, I trust this information is helpful. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you wish to further discuss these issues. And this is Bradley Weinsheimer, Associate Deputy Attorney General. So there's that, and he didn't send a copy to anybody else, I guess. He only sent it to Mueller. So there we have it. And like I said, this is probably the paragraph that concerns me the most, just because it almost implies that if the Republicans try to say, why did you choose the specific members of the team that you did? I don't know. Under this, it appears that he may not be able to answer that. And so, who knows? Maybe I'm misreading or something, but that's what it appears to me, that it's saying if they ask you anything other than exactly what the report says, then, you can't respond to it. So, I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? Again, if he shows up, I'm going to be stunned. So, I'll be there to watch, and we'll see what happens. But maybe the Republicans need to bring a bucket of chicken this time instead of the Democrats, because I just don't think he wants to answer the questions the Republicans have. So anyway, but I did want to show you one other thing here. I thought this was very interesting. Now, this is a list of the FOIA requests by the, what is that, Office of Information. I checked it here. Okay. Office of Information Policy, that OIP is what that is. This is dated May 2019, and these are the ones closed. Check this out, okay? So they've got some here, and it tells whether it was a full grant or if it was directed to another FOIA office, or if it was a partial grant, partial denial, and so forth. So if you go through, we get down here. Let's see, where's the first one? Right here. Copy of the report of Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Partial grant, partial denial. Okay, because it's mostly granted, because it's mostly out there, it just has some redactions, and that part is denied. So there's one instance of it, and these are all separate instances, okay? Keep that in mind. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Same thing they're asking for. And then look at all these. Yeah, all these are requests to see the Mueller report. Now, I don't know who put these in, but they are all individually separate requests. And they're all partial grant, partial denial, because they all get the same thing. So, yeah, look at this. Oh, guess what? It keeps going. Guys, it's 20 pages long total, this whole document, and about 11 or 12 pages of it are this. It just keeps going. At this point, they do single space. So it just goes on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it goes on and on. They're all the same thing. People put these in. They all wanted to get it. Now, what I find really unusual, yeah, it does go on. Eventually down here, they do get to some other things, but there's not much other than this. There's really not. It just goes through. Look at this, page after page. It just keeps going. Oh, here we go. Oh, you get down here. Oh, here are some that are not. And this one was for the Executive Order 13768, which, if you remember that was the one where Trump said those cities and states that are going to be sanctuary cities aren't going to be eligible to receive federal grants. And so I'm sure somebody wanted to find out about that. But some of the stuff that, they say no records because there's no record of it. And some of the things that they're asking for are, emails and communication between Trump and some other people, and no records. I mean, they're not there. They don't exist. So you go through, you can look at, here's more. Then they put a few in, then they do more. Then they put a few in and more. I mean, this is what this office has been doing for the last couple of months. They've been sitting there going through all these requests for a copy of the report of Special Counsel Robert Mueller. And, it's like, really, you're not going to get anything other than what they've already given out. That's just the way it is. Now, who knows? Are these made by Democrats who are trying to get through there? I don't know, but there's a lot of them. I'm telling you, they're everywhere. It's just all throughout here. I don't even know how many pages it is because they put a few in here and then they do more. It's just very interesting. This is interesting. Copy of the report of the investigation of the Chicago Police Department. They got a full grant on that. I'm assuming that's probably for the Smollett thing. Yeah. And so it goes on. This was interesting. Communications between Attorney General Jeff Sessions and President Donald Trump or Vice President Mike Pence, and all these people are listed, okay? And then it goes through, and it says no records. So all of these things were things they were trying to get to, and guess what? There aren't any records. Yeah. This is not a conspiracy with the Trump people to do this. This had nothing to do with them, and there was no communication between them to come up with this. They're trying, though. They're really trying. And so, This one listing of Freedom of Information Act exemptions applicable to the report of Special Counsel Robert Mueller. They got a full grant on that one. This was interesting. Communications between Attorney General Jeff Sessions and Colombian Attorney General Nestor Humberto Martinez concerning the gold trade in 2018. No records. So, there's another one. Yeah, they just go through, just very interesting. They're throughout. I'm telling you, it's 20 pages long, and at least half of them, it's more than 10, because it's about 15 probably that are all that. So what have people been doing? Well, they've obviously been asking to get the full report, and they're not going to get it. They've gotten what they're going to get. So they keep asking for it, but they're not getting it, and it's just not going to happen. And that's how many they had to deny. So I just wanted to show that to you because I thought, wow, that is an awful lot when you have page after page after page. And this is just the ones that were closed in May. So I don't know. I didn't look for the ones that were like in April, but they're all out there. My last thing that I want to say about this, and it's something I talked about before. How is it Amazon sells the Mueller report? Now, okay, I do understand that like the Washington Post and this one's from the Department of Justice. Why are they selling it? You can go to their website and download it for free. Why would anybody, first of all, buy it? I had a friend who did. And it was like, she was telling me, and it was like, whoa. It was at a crochet group, so it's not, we don't try not to talk politics. And for some bizarre reason, that kind of came up somehow. And, she mentioned that she did buy it. And I was like, why? You can read it on the website. It's a PDF. You can get it. And for me, I send it to my Kindle address. And it goes into my Kindle, and then my Kindle will read it to me. So, I don't even have to read it myself. This is the one that concerns me the most right here. Why is Robert Mueller making money off of this? Well, I'm also concerned about why the Department of Justice is making money off of it. But, why are they? I don't understand that. How are they making money off of this type of thing? Now, I can understand, okay, with the paperback, because it does cost to print it out. And so I can understand, selling that so that if people want the physical copy of it, they can get that. But this one right here, if you're going Kindle, I just don't get it. How can Robert Mueller be making money off of this? That bothers me. That disturbs me a lot. Being a writer, it disturbs me because he was working for the government. He got paid by the government, by we the people. We paid him to do this report. And then he turns around and sells it? I just can't believe that's legal. I don't know how that can work. But then again, I'm not real sure how the U.S. Department of Justice is getting away with that either. But at least that's, reasonable because it would cost you that much probably to print it out. Or, it'd cost you quite a bit because it's a long report. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. And here's another one that says, Robert S. Mueller. I don't understand. How do you do that? Here's another one that says by Robert S. Mueller. So are these people actually publishing this? Are they the ones behind it? Are they the ones making money? Or is it other people putting their names on it? That's what I can't understand. Oh, summary of the Mueller report for those who are too busy to read it all. I bet that one's unbiased. Huh. U.S. Department of Justice. Well, you can get it in hardcover. There you go. And it is a bestseller, up here. See, bestseller. By the way, folks, take anything you see on Amazon that says bestseller. I'm sorry, take it with a grain of salt because there's ways of manipulating your numbers so you can get that little tag. So I'm always skeptical. It's like, yeah, fine, I'll judge it on its own merit. But anyway, I just don't get why it's on here at all, because you can easily go and download it yourself and read it. You know, you go to the Department of Justice website, the link is right there, you download it, you got the PDF, just read it. So, anyway, I wanted to bring that to your attention. That's just something that sticks in my craw. I don't know why Mueller should get 1 penny off of it, because he's already bilked us out of how many millions of dollars just to do the stupid report. So that's what I've got for you on that one. Might be interesting to go back here and see what happens in April or when it first came out and see what happened. But yeah, that's what our FOIA requests have been. That's what our Office of Information Policy has been doing in the Department of Justice. Pretty much just going, is another request for the Mueller report. Send them the form letter. Here we go. Stamp, stamp, stamp. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. I thought it was interesting. And so that's what I've got for you on this one. I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.